Right. Doing a little dual wield Mjolnir Titan build. I've got my tier 15 out. I got 2 tablets in here. Just gonna do a little showcase of where I'm at right now. A lot of people are way ahead of me, slow. But first, like I don't even have any skills 6 linked. This is very achievable gear I've got on. Um, no more than, like, I think it's less than 10 divines I've spent so far. And half this gear I've actually found slash crafted myself just with exalts. Um, so without further ado, we'll go into this one. So warrior's slow, everyone knows this, but there's some things you can do that'll make it really strong. And so one thing is this war cry tech. On my infernal cry, you'll see it is echoing. And the reason I put that on there is because I'll show my passive tree after, but there is a passive tree node that will make your war cries have a minimum of 10 power every time it activates. And with the support gem I've got in there, it generates rage, and so I basically have perma uptime on my rage, and then I can utilize Rage Forge in a number of my abilities to further enhance my damage. And this is alternative to Eternal Rage, which a lot of other builds have to use, but it's 100 spirit and very costly. And so warrior, I think it's better just with the access you have to the warcry nodes on the side of the tree to actually take advantage of those. Got a little dicey there. I hate this mana thing. Why? Of course. Alright, here we go. Where's the boss? Let's try to get the boss. You'll notice I don't have Herald. You could put Herald of Ash on this and probably improve the clear, but I've been experimenting with lesser stuff. I've actually, I'm not even utilizing like half my spirit right now because I've got the remnant ability that overflows my ward, which isn't really giving much, so I need to mess around with that and change it. But essentially, this build does a lot of damage, and the reason I'm using Mjolnir is because I can get this very large curse you'll see when it activates elemental weakness. And for a single target, we want to throw our hammer at the ground, scream at it. Where the hell did he go? Oh, there he is. And he's ready. So you can see just one tap him, basically. And a lot of builds can do that, and a lot faster, but there's just something about the warrior abilities that have a lot of heft and feeling to them that the majority of projectile builds do not have. And so even though it's worse, I'm an idiot and will keep playing it, most likely. You see him just activating Infernal Cry to keep my rage up. Where the heck is the boss? Alright, here we go. So, let's see. So, we're going to throw our hammer at the ground, scream at it, put our war banner down, and they're both dead. I mean, those bosses don't even have that much health. That was like 3 million health, I think, in a couple seconds. So, if you are someone who is trying to play warrior and you're struggling,
Father would be proud.
Feel free to try to utilize some of the abilities in this. And so, I think let's just go to the hideout for a second. The key to this is, and why I'm using Mjolnir, and you can technically do this on a Smithic Vitava because they've got fire spell on hit, but Mjolnir is essentially giving me the ability to have that Ascendancy node just on the weapon. through Thunder God's Wrath, which says, you know, you're getting energy per power of enemies you hit with melee attacks, modified by the percentage of the enemy's ailment threshold the hit will deal. And so, if you try to use this with pure Fizz, you're not going to actually activate this as much, but because I'm constantly empowering my attacks with Infernal Cry, I'm constantly having a large amount of extra fire damage on all these attacks, and not to mention for a single target, the fissures on Forge Hammer are fully converted to fire. So I've got a giant negative 86, elemental resistance is removed from elemental weakness, combined with, I've got gain on chaos here, but I could probably change that, but gain 5% of damage, extra damage of all elements. Got flat fizz here that can get converted on the fissures, and then some fire damage here. But this build just deletes bosses. Like I said, and you can see, I don't even have full 5 supports in any of these abilities. I'm not even taking advantage of half my spirit right now. This is basically useless. And then you could mess around with some of these abilities. Really, the only key abilities, in my opinion, are, on Earth Shatter, I am impaling, which, because I've got so many fissures coming out, this is actually a big damage boost, I believe. Even though it's extracting the proven negation physical hit, but because I've got so many fissures coming out, and then I'm basically extracting them with the other hits through the fissures, and I think my living lightning guys are they attacks? Yeah, they are attacks. They can extract those as well. But basically, this is kind of early stages. I haven't even gone to Arbiter of Divinity yet, but I'm just absolutely crushing these bosses with Forge Hammer and Earth Shatter. You could technically use other slime abilities, but I feel as if Earth Shatter is going to give you the most damage because of this lineage support right here. You know, you're putting 4 fissures per hit, and I'm hitting at, and this is going to get better as I get more passive points and improve my gear, but, you know, basically once a second I'm putting out 4 fissures, and not even 5 linked, and I don't even have like optimal damage supports on this, but you know, and this is dual wielded, so that the tooltip isn't accurate. This is basically 10.5 on the main hand, and you know, around that similar, because these are essentially the identical Mjolnirs. I just have the corrupt on the main hand. You know, basically 20k per fissure, 4 fissure. So that's a lot of damage just from, you know, 1 second of hitting the fissures and then popping them with my seismic cry. And not to mention with the fissures and the, like I said, the elemental weakness, it was almost doubling damage unless there's less curse effect or high resistance on any of the bosses or opponents. But at the same time, I've fought some bosses that have like 5-6 million, and I know I'm only doing like a, you know, tier 15 just alked. I'm not fully juicing yet, but I don't foresee any issues with damage as I continue. I just really need to improve some of my survivability. I've got, my gear is a hodgepodge. You know, I really could just own in on armor and get this wheel over here, but I had to fix my resists because I was playing the game with 0 chaos res for like the majority of time, and I got sick of randomly getting 1 tapped by chaos hits. So So I had to fix that, which I did with this. I made this helmet and this ring and this ring. And as you can see, I don't even have. I'm playing with gear that doesn't have 6 affixes, just because I'm gonna save up my stuff or my currency and craft on these with abyss stuff and whatnot. But that is all for now. If you are someone who wants to play warrior and you're struggling at all, I highly encourage you to look into Forge Hammer and Earth Shatter. It's really strong, and you will delete bosses. Oh yeah, and I continuously am surprised that people do not utilize Water Banner. I know it's an extra button, and I'm not sure if my gameplay showcases well because I'm not a pro PoE player, but I mean, this is just free damage whenever you want it. I mean, I've got the lineage support, which was I think like an Exile or 2 when I bought it. Like very cheap, you can get this, and I mean 50 glory to place this, and bosses are what, 20 power? Yeah, so I mean, you hit the boss 2-3 times, and you're gonna have this if you don't have it already, which I don't think I had it heading into it, but then I placed it midway through. I mean, it's just what, 13 seconds? 13. I don't even. I can upgrade this to a higher level because I have the attributes for it. But I mean, you get 25 skill speed, 25 more attack damage, and if you want, you can spec into aura magnitude and get even more out of this. I haven't done that yet because I had to invest a lot into attributes to get the ability to equip Mjolnir. Oh, and another reason for Mjolnir is just because you might say, oh, you don't have skill levels for attacks, but like I said, I think the LE weakness more than makes up for it. You could make the argument that I don't really need the Mjolnir in the second hand because, I mean, this isn't really doing a ton, but I just have it on for, I guess, flavor. And Mjolnir is one of the few unique weapons in this game where its base damage is actually strong for its weapon type. If you look at one-handed maces across the board, generally their damage is lacking unless you craft a really strong mace. And so Mjolnir is a really easy way to get pretty solid base damage for your one-handed maces without having to craft it. And it's just cool. So I think that's all for now. I think I'll try to make a update on this if I've progressed further in the future. But yeah, this is really strong. And like I said, these tooltips are misleading because first of all, I'm dual wielding, and second of all, skill like Earth Shatter you can't really get the true sense of the actual damage from this because of all that's going on with it. That's all for now. Hope you have a good one, and till next time.